Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me once again. Well, a few days ago, 2 days ago, actually, I did a video about Andrew Bridgen and a video that he posted on his Twitter feed. And it was all to do with Keir Starmer, specifically the flip-flop effect, where he'll be in a TV station at one time, he'll say something, and then he's asked a day later, completely different version of events, flip-flop. And it was a very, very good representation of what MPs say, do, and the way they behave to try and get themselves known, try and get themselves noticed, and get themselves into power. You made a lot of comments on that video, and I want to run through some of them just to air some of your points of view and opinions. So here we go. Right, you can see the thumbnail of the video there. And right from the off, Lee Skillman, 99% of all politicians in Parliament now shouldn't be allowed to ever serve in government again. All parties in Parliament now have failed the people of the UK for decades. I agree. And, you know, you look, there's something like 120 are no longer going to stand there. They're going to stand down at the next election. They're dropping like flies. And for what? Paul Clive, vast majority of Westminster, should be in jail. Well, I talk about skeletons in closets, don't I? And very much you've got to come at it with a clean slate. Otherwise, and, you know, all of these things, declarations of interest and that sort of stuff. Raven, 3212, Starmer is the flip-flop king, untrustworthy man. Yeah, with the way that a lot of people think, we are heading for a Labour government, highly likely, but it's still not too late to change that. In fact, I don't think the Conservatives should get in either, if I'm honest about it. The whole thing's broke. I want enough people to come out and make that difference now, really now. But it's probably not realistically going to happen now. But if we can get some kind of change going forward, hopefully next time, if there is a next time. Starmer is dangerous for this country. Well, I would argue he can't make a straight decision and stick to it. So you're probably right. Adrian, another WEF member, they should not be allowed to sit in Parliament. Their allegiance is not to the UK. Well, you go back to the 1970s. Was it Edward Heath that did something a little bit questionable with that regard, which meant that everything since is, questionable. The Games Emporium, Starmer has said he will no longer give EU nationals the vote. Another U-turn. Who can honestly trust a word he says? He's a politician. His lips move. Say no more. But I know what you mean. Roberts, vote Labour equals Islam. Vote Reform UK equals for the British people. I hope so. I really hope so, for the sake of that union that people believe in. Me, I'm English, so I think slightly differently now after some of the things I've read and learnt over recent weeks. Do your homework. Free speech forever. Agree the man is a total disaster. Tells you something about the legal profession as well. There's a lot of that to be read. A lot of that. David 007. Starmer hasn't even decided what a woman is. Never mind anything else. I can't understand that whole woke thing, that whole what's a woman, what's a man. But I took biology A level. Well, I didn't even need that. Does anyone else? Don't. Ryan, never underestimate the greed and corruption of the other MP. Yes. Trevor's travels by narrow boat. U-turn Starmer. I'll try that again. Trev's travels by narrow boat. U-turn Starmer. Thanks, Trev. Nick Butler. The Pinocchio gene is normally dormant in most. However, with politicians, it's specifically nurtured to bring out its full potential. Yeah, exactly. User, time for change. Get these corrupt thieves out of Parliament. Give the country back to the people. What country is that? You have to remember, we're a union. We're not a country. Are you talking England? Are you talking Scotland? Are you talking Wales? Well, what do you mean country? I'm only asking because, you know, the point of view. Just informed. Barefaced liar just says what he thinks. Folks want to hear. Total hypocrite. That's what we get with most MPs, particularly at this time where they want to say or do anything to get themselves in power. I saw another video of old Sunak catching a train, publicity stunt or what. Trouble is, people will fall for it. McSmiley B. Ah, yes, Keir, the guy who let Jimmy off when he was on the CPS. Top guy, him. There's a lot going around the internet about what he did when he was in charge of the CPS. And, you know, you do the research. It's a bit telling. Wellard, 67. We're heading for a Labour government, but I doubt it will last very long. The British people have had enough now. Yep. We'll have to see. But I agree with you. Many more people, from what I read with the comments, are starting to have enough. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to see. That's the thing. Trevor, you know when politicians are not telling the truth, their lips move. That's the old one, but still holds a bit of weight. Nick, I think the Monster Looney Party would do a better job running the country. You remember Screaming Lord Such? Bless him, I do. Kelly I, political parties are never tired of telling us what they plan to do, but I don't recall them ever asking what it is we want them to do, let alone acting on what we ask for. That's right. They're not representative. And, you know, it's all power words, isn't it? Increase this, 5 billion this, 10 billion that. We will reduce this. We will increase. It's all power words with no substance, no game plan. Bullshit, most of it. Banging Hats. He's a slippery customer who uses words as tools to achieve his agenda at any given moment. An integrity-free zone. My favourite is when he said the EU vote will be a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and then look at all of his actions since. X0148, vote reform won't change anything. The entire system needs throwing out. The UK political system is too broken, too corrupt to fix. The sooner people wake up to reality, the better. We need poll tax levels of public action. Yeah, I'm just old enough to remember that. And I remember all the worry my mum had. I was just on the cusp of my teens when that happened. But I do remember it. And, you know, 30 odd years later, here we are talking about this kind of thing again. Now, I agree with you. I believe it is too corrupt to be fixed. Yeah, there is a simple model of a smaller government with, you know, regional leaders who are representative of the people underneath them. And it's just got too bad, too fast. Vote reform, that's Keith. Jeannie, Andy, is spot on. These people are clueless. They say things and assume we forget. And that's a great comment to finish on. They assume we have short memories, don't they? All of them. And that's the problem. We've got to keep remembering what they're saying and, you know, hold them to account later on. Anyway, thanks for that, everybody. Some of your comments, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you're on social media, I wouldn't mind a share. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.